All right, guys, welcome back to another trade recap. I know it's been a little bit of a while since I did one of these, and that's mostly due to me pussying out of trades. Yeah, that's what I've been doing a lot. So I kind of slapped myself a few times in the face and said, "Listen, lock in, buddy. I miss trades, and then when I see trades that shouldn't be taken, I take them because I missed the initial ones. So it's all in my head. I mean, it's all just psychology based, and that's kind of what I'm struggling with at this point. And because of that, I'm kind of rewriting my brain, rescripting it, kind of just focusing on getting the charts, doing my job, and then getting it right off. Before we start, I'm going to read a little Bible verse off. This is from the Bible app. This is the verse of the day. Let me see here. All right. This is Psalms chapter 100, line 4 from the English Standard Version. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him. Bless his name. Um, Praise be Jesus Christ. In his name we pray. Amen. So we're going to start here. This is 8 to 9 o'clock, this candle printed. So right at 9 o'clock, again, market opens 9:30. So right at 9 o'clock, we are looking at this print. And what do we see here? Kind of just initial draws. We have this draw here, as well as this draw, which leads into an hourly bearish gap, right? So this is kind of a pretty easy target to get at. Also, I'm on NQ here. So I start off at NQ, but when you go to NQ and ES, oh, are they? The ES is a little bit higher, I think, than these draws. Yes, yeah. So ES is a little bit high. So you see how this is a little lower down. ES is a little bit higher. This is something I do to determine what index I'm going to take my trade on. So it's either the S&P as an ES or NQ, NASDAQ. If we are in a bullish bias, which I don't stick to a bias, but if I want to take a long and I'm closer to the highs, I am much more likely to be able to hit my draw liquidity and hit my target profit or hit my profit target, hit my TP if we are trading on an index that is more towards the position that I want to take. So if it's a long, we want it to be more bullish. If it's a short, we want it to be more bearish. So today we're looking at longs. And again, we didn't really have a strict bias here because again, on the 1 hour, we're kind of dumping. We could have easily took these lows, except there was just better draws up here. We could have easily took this low here, as well as lows down here if we really had to, right? Those could be ulterior draws. So if that were the case and we were going to dump, I would take a short on NQ and a long on ES. Keeping that in mind, we have, again, like I marked that before, we have this draw. Ooh, we have this draw here, which is fairly close. One that we're probably going to take. I think we actually took this in pre-market. And then another draw over here. That was the main draw that dug into this 1 hour fair value gap. And I think there might have been a 4 hour here. I'm not mistaken. All right. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking here. This is not 4 hour. No, there was no 4 hour. Right. So go back to 1 hour. Yeah, right. So that's the draw. If we go into the 5 minute now, I want to show you we are at, this is the 8:55 candle. So we'll skip through, see if when we hit this draw. And yeah, on market open, we hit it. So on the 1 minute candle, there really was no entry here. You can see this could have, I mean, listen, anything could be an entry if we look at it this way. But this, if the draw was higher, this could have been a pretty good entry. You would use this 1 minute as protection. But again, the draw was literally 10 ticks away, 2.5 points. This is not a trade you want to take. 0.3 R is not what you want to take. So I would have never taken this one. I saw this pair. I was like, yeah, I'm good. It's not happening. So now what do we have here? The second draw that we're looking at, right? I don't think I was really looking at the 5 minute too much. I wanted a retrace. We actually didn't get one. But if you go back to the 1 minute, I'm going to click through these candles here. Right. So am I seeing this correctly? Yeah, no. Okay. I didn't take this trade either. I didn't take it here. Right. So again, the draw is here. This is a very confident draw that we have. But I want to see a retrace and a displacement candle either engulfing that retrace or just some sort of displacement as confirmation towards our drawn liquidity to tell us, yes, we are moving towards this. We are going to easily hit this target. So here we have this displacement. But again, at this point, I think I also didn't want a top bank. So that would have been a bad entry per se. But we have, yeah, here was what I was concerned about. We have these highs here, pretty much 3 equal highs. And I think that 1 minute move kind of confirmed that we were moving further up, but I didn't want top bank it still. And at that point, I kind of missed the retrace. Actually, you know what? That would have been a great trade. Other than the fact that we displaced a lot, this is huge confirmation. I think somebody took this in the Discord too, but this would have been a great trade. Target these highs. But I also think I saw a lot of people with BE here. So this could be a protection here or down here. And I actually want to see this please out. I think it goes break even because at this point I would have been break even. Yeah, that would have been break even already. So I didn't take that trade. As we're seeing this print right here, this is exactly what I took. So again, retrace into this 1 minute, and that was actually going to be our protection. So I have this marked out here. Retrace into this 1 minute and a clear breakout, a clear displacement candle. I then long this position. Now, as I was doing this, something important to note here. One, since this is my protection, I want to set my stops underneath it or just about the lowest point you go in that fair value gap. But now what is this? A 0.65 RR. And we don't actually like that. So when we have this like very clear draw, but we want to actually cover our ass with our stop loss and not leave it somewhere hanging really close, that doesn't make much sense. Like this is a one to one, right? But since we have this fair value up here, we want to use that as some sort of protection. So what I do is I set this as my break even though that is the draw. I set that as my break even because that is very clearly going to get hit. And now what my actual TP is going to be 1 to 1, which is like would be a runner in most trades, but this would actually be my TP. So if this hit this green line, I'd move to break even. I'll close this right here, right? Lower my risk. There's no risk anymore. And now target that 1 to 1. And that's exactly what I did today, actually. So we're going to leave this somewhere here. I don't think that was exactly my SL. I think it was maybe a little bit lower, but regardless. So I entered off of that. And unbeknownst to me, at this point, now on Forex Factory, I'll show you this right here. There is no news today, right? Unbeknownst to me, Trump was going to take a private call within the White House that actually affected price massively. So I took this trade, took this long. We see this reaction. Wait, is this what time is this? 9:52. I think this is where I took it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I took the trade here. Again, see a massive movement in price upwards. These are all clean candles. Um, all good things you want to see. This one kind of scared me a little bit. Tapped into that 1 minute again, reacted, broke out upwards. Um, and this is kind of where I debated just closing the position because that was. I mean, it's still retesting that level, but you can imagine as price is printing, I saw it sprint up a little bit and then absolutely tank and then pull back. This is kind of the psychology part of trading, especially while you're currently in a trade. So if you took that trade and you set it, you should be more than confident to just walk away and let the numbers talk to you, let the statistics talk for you, let your confluences talk for you, and let the trade just run, right? Obviously, there's managing positions, which I'm going to show you exactly what I did in this trade, which includes moving to break even. But you want that sort of confidence in your trade so that you're not going to exit just because of how price actions, right? Obviously, I'll show you because of news price action, I altered my trade a little bit as we were going through it. So here we're going to click through again. I think this point, this is 10 o'clock. No, just right before news starts to, this starts to chop because Trump is now taking the call in the office, and we are kind of indecisive where price wants to go. So we're going to see here is these next few candles do absolutely fuck all. I'm going to select that bar back again, right? This was rather scary to see, right? So price would come down. Actually, I think this one initially came up, then back down. This is not really what I want to see in a trade. So now I am almost accidentally in a trade with high impact news involved in it. So what I do here is I close my stop loss up to this wick, or sorry, this body of the candle. Is that like a specific zone you should be putting it? No, I just thought that was a good place to put it. Honestly, you could have put it lower here. How much are you willing to risk? Really? That's the point, right? At this point, it's almost like a gamble. I always preach not to trade during news, and here we are, almost accidentally trading during a non-marked news event. So I instantly squash my risk here, especially because we dig so high into my take profit here. If we would have tapped this BE, I would have been out already. But a lot of people were saying that Discord too is like, you shouldn't have been in this trade. You should have been hit BE. But my BE was my initial draw, right? That was kind of what I was aiming for. So I'm still in this trade, and what do we see here? Trump makes this magical phone call that gives us the biggest Diddy candle I've ever seen. At this point, this draw was, or this high was, I mean, we already broke this draw. So again, instantly moved to break even here. This squash it even lower if you can. There was literally no risk. My exit or my stop loss was at my entrance, at my initial set entry on the market. And now we're just waiting for it to take that profit. So in the next 10 seconds, just absolutely bang that. And that was it. And I was out of the trade. That was $800 on one of my 50Ks, and my dumbass forgot to copy trade it. So I was using TradeSync, but I forgot to do a little fob later thing on TradeSync. So instead, I only took one trade instead of that would have been three trades marked across all 50K accounts. So it could have been significantly more money. But listen, you live and you learn. This trade honestly was not the best, and I don't recommend a lot of people taking this if they ever see it. Like again, a good setup, but because of the news, made it rough. Definitely made it rough. So that's kind of it. That's all you could really learn from that. There was other draws throughout the day. I had one more draw marked out on the one. Actually, you know what? It's funny. I did all this on here when I actually took that on micros, and I want to show you everything I had drawn out here. Right. So this is exactly what I had drawn out for you guys. Again, same stuff I was already saying. 1 minute fair value gap is protection for stop loss. Displacement candle here that you enter off of. Move stop loss. It says hybrid, but I said higher when we started the chop. So as we chopped, as I said, moved up to this candle here. And then break even was the draw on liquidity because of a bad RR. Like I was saying before, I didn't want to take this trade with 0.6 RR. I wanted at least 1 RR. So the draw on liquidity was actually my break even. And if at any point we hit that draw and then we struggled to get any higher, it would have just got to be break even. But here we had a nice little breakout and a tap on that kind of imaginary TP. That's the only issue with this and extending your TP is we set our TPs on points that the market will like confidently move towards. Especially if you're taking a trade, you should be almost fully confident the market is going to jump towards that price. So doing this, understand your risk, understand that you should really move your price to break even the second you tap that. Because I've seen trades that instead of pushing through this will literally wick out at that TP or that what you should have been your TP on that draw and just completely reverse and flip. So be very mindful of that. Protect your positions. Like I said, set and forget is not always the way people should be trading. It's kind of dependent on how your trades play out, how your trading plan is. For me, break even is a big thing in my trading plan. Anytime price goes to a certain point, I always mark this point out while I'm taking a trade. I instantly go to break even to protect my position. If I'm so high within my TP already, like obviously I haven't taken profit yet, it's still unsecured. Why would I risk the trade completely flipping and then taking me out at a loss? That's kind of the way I see it. So I always just end up squishing to break even, squishing my. Oh, I moved the wrong line. Squishing my stop to break even when that point comes, when that time comes. So a lot of things to learn from this. Mostly just be aware of when stuff is happening. I honestly I was pretty happy with this trade. I was happy with the way I protected my positions. I was happy with this drawn liquidity with most things here. But again, try not to trade during news, especially high impact news, especially when Trump's opening his mouth. That's never really the best idea. That's always what I preach against. So me doing this kind of just looks a little hypocritical. But again, it was a bit by accident. Forex Factory had nothing marked out for me. Nothing at all. Not even a word. Not a squeak. Not a pinch. I don't even know what to say to that. Yeah, there's nothing there. So, and also remember to sync your accounts. That was kind of stupid on my part. I actually did that like twice last week too. So, me ranting about learning from my mistakes in the last video. Here I am still making the same mistakes. But listen, you might have to make it once, twice, 3 times, even 10 times before you learn from them. I know plenty of traders make the same stupid shit, same stupid mistakes. Keep doing it over and over again, and eventually you will have enough, and you will fix yourself, and you will start taking better trades. You'll start, moving to break even, or any other mistake that you might make. You'll stop over trading. You'll stop over leveraging. Whatever it is, you have to make mistakes to learn from it, which is exactly what I was talking about in the last video. This is all just trials, right? If you pray for patience, you pray for perseverance, you pray for humbleness, you will instead get moments in your life that will make you humble or make you persevere through the hard times or make you persistent in what you're doing, right? So that's all this trading is. Every single day you take that loss, you have a bad trade, you miss trades, you overtrade. Anytime you do anything stupid, we're just learning from it. It's all just a learning lesson. It's not personal. It's not you and the market. The market did nothing to you. It is literally just you, and you have to either learn from it and grow or quit if it's not for you. That's really all it is. So anyway, thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for listening, and I will catch you in the next video.